Hey everyone, this is for the zodiac sign of Gemini. It will be from today, November 7th until the 14th. Today is a new moon in Scorpio. So that's basically rebirth, the death card, endings, transformation, new beginnings. It doesn't necessarily have to mean to give away to everything of the past, but maybe some things that we were holding on to that weren't beneficial for us, such as thought patterns, behaviors, things that were just to our detriment. And since Scorpio season is so heavy and makes us really go inside and face our shadow and our fears, and it brings everything up to the surface, we now have an awareness of what we've been dealing with for so long, what hasn't been serving us, and how to transform to make things better for our life. So, for Gemini, while I was meditating on the cards, tapping into your energy, I felt this sense of heaviness dissipating, but also going through a transformative period of healing. So the main issue is the Three of Swords. Now, this is a very painful card. This is heartbreak. This is betrayal. This is feeling left like you were abandoned. This is heartbreak in a nutshell. So this is your central issue. Now, the energy that is crossing you is Temperance, which is the sign of Sagittarius. It's the major arcana for Sagittarius. And what this card has to deal with is balance. Balance in our emotions, balance in our mind, body, and spirit. It also has to do with patience. So it was in the upright. So the energy that is now conducive to you is that you're finally gaining a sense of balance within yourself, within your emotions, with your mind, your body, and spirit. To clarify, the Three of Swords was the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So the Two of Pentacles in the reverse is basically dropping something. Because when the Two of Pentacles is upright, you're juggling. You don't know which way is up, you don't know which way is down. You're trying to make sense, like, should I let this go? Should I let that go? Which direction should I go in? But you've made a decision to drop something that no longer serves you, whether it be a thought pattern, whether it be a relationship, whether it be juggling between too many things in your life. What clarified the Temperance card was the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups basically is emotional intelligence. He's very emotional, he's very intuitive, but he does not let his emotions control him. He has gained a firm foundation in what it is to react in an appropriate emotional manner. Now, if this was in the reverse, this would be emotional manipulation, somebody who's trying to emotionally manipulate you. But since it's in the upright and it's with the Temperance card, these two cards suggest to me that there has been a restoration of balance within your emotions. Very intuitive, listening to your gut instinct, not letting other people control you. So in the immediate past, you have the Two of Wands. So the Two of Wands is you making a decision. Now, you don't know which way you're going to go, what path you're going to take, but you have an idea of what you want now. And now's the time to pick what path is best for you, what's best for your emotional health, your mental health, your physical health, your spiritual health. Clarifying that in the past was the Death card reversed. Sign of Scorpio. This is holding on to something so tightly, not letting go, knowing that you have to let something go. Like I said, whether it be your thoughts, emotions, a way of thinking, but you aren't letting the transformation happen. But now you came to the realization that you have to look out into the future and do what's best for you. So, your crowning thoughts regarding all of this is the Sun in reverse. The Sun in reverse is major arcana, sign of Leo, but it's also unhappiness. It's also not seeing things clearly, things that aren't illuminated. It could be a decline in your health. When clarified in the past, you have the Three of Pentacles in the reverse. So this is a feeling of you putting in all the work. As you could see in this card especially, this girl is just looking out the window, just pondering, all alone. And usually this card has to do with teamwork, building a foundation with somebody. But in the reverse, in the past, you felt like perhaps you were doing all the work. Nobody was there to build the foundation that you wanted, the solid foundation that you wanted, and you felt all alone. So these were your thoughts in the past. And currently, you're unhappy about it. You want illumination on why things didn't pan out the way that they were supposed to, why you didn't get the answers that you were looking for. There's also 2 3s in this spread. Can be talking about a third-party situation for some of you. Can't rule that out. Now, what's driving you is the foundation. It's the Knight of Pentacles. Now, the Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight in the deck. But he's methodical And when he reaches his point of destination, he's stable. He carries his pentacle with pride. And he's not just going to give it to anybody. He's not going to make a hasty decision like the Knight of Swords would, rushing into a situation. He's not going to be in and out like the Knight of Wands, player card, one night stands. The Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is like dreamy, making you a romantic offer, but it's really not sustainable because those feelings can be fleeting and it can change at any time. It's a knight. It's not a king. But this knight is the most reliable in the deck. Male or female, it doesn't matter. What this person is looking for, what you're looking for, is stability. You're looking at the bigger picture for your future. When clarified in the past, you have the Lover's card. So you're being driven by love, by true love, by not just some connection that comes and goes. This is the ultimate connection. This is where you connect with somebody on every level. You are emotionally fulfilled. You are spiritually fulfilled. You're physically fulfilled. In every sense of the word, you are fulfilled with this person. This is the love of your life. This is the love that you're yearning for. And that's why you're moving so slowly with who you give your pentacle to, with who you give your heart to. This is a connection undeniable. And I just wanted to read from the book about this Lover's card because I thought it was really beautiful how this particular deck interpreted it. And this deck is Tarot de Nuit. So, love is always a choice. Look at us. The bond we have is eternal. Our love is altogether emotional, spiritual, and sexual. It is the deepest love ever, yet it's a love we fought for. Choices had to be made, and it is your turn now to choose love and to fight for love. You have, as we had, to be clear about your own values and to stand for them. No love is ever possible if you are not true to yourself first. If you're facing a dilemma, honesty is the only way to get you through the shadows of doubt, for the decision you'll make is essential at this point in your life. Never forget there are only two paths. One is wrong, the other is love. So this signifies a special bond, attractiveness, a soulmate, choices, and being true to yourself. So then as we peer into the immediate future, we have the Death card again, but now it's upright. So now you're ready for that transformation. You're not fighting the transformation anymore. You're going to let it flow. You're not going to fight against the current. Whatever doesn't serve you anymore, whoever doesn't serve you anymore, who's no longer on your path anymore, you're not going to fight it. You're going to take the experiences you've learned and you're going to let it transform you and move into a better way of living. Now, in a relationship, it can mean that your relationship is going through a transformative period where things will never be the same as they were in the past. But maybe that's for a good thing. Maybe there were lessons that needed to be learned. And now you can ascend to a higher level with each other if you so choose to. clarified by that in the past. What were you looking for? You were looking for balance. You were looking for an equal give and take relationship. Notice all the red. Red is for stability. You wanted something stable. You didn't want a one-sided relationship. You wanted somebody who would be there for you, for the good times, for the bad times. You wanted somebody who would give you their full attention and not give you just pieces of their attention. Perhaps because they were giving their attention to other people, to other things that they felt were more important. But you made a conscious decision to get balance back in your life. Look for an equal take in a relationship. Look at your values and what you want from a situation, a relationship. And to let the death process happen and let it transform you and see where it takes you. So some oracle cards that I pulled. The energy is gaining momentum. The waxing moon. This is from the Moonology Oracle cards. Just give me 1 minute to find it. Where is this? Okay, the energy is gaining momentum. During the waxing moon cycle, hope springs eternal. This card is a very positive omen, indicating that you can create the reality you're dreaming of, though it will take some work and you're not quite there yet. This is a time of energies rising up. Emotions are building too. Where do you want to go, and do you believe you could get there? Either you can just keep meditating and focusing on your desired outcome, or you can make the courageous commitment to take more practical steps towards your goals. Whichever you decide, you are most certainly on the right track. Attuned to the moon. I know I'm headed in the right direction. Additional meanings for this card. The situation is full of potential. Your dream can come true. More effort is yet required. Are you willing to give it? Review your goals and ensure you're still committed. Keep moving forwards. So, if you're committed to a specific path, a specific relationship, and the other person feels the same, then there are things that you can work out. And the energy is right for you to make the effort, make the commitment to one another. If it's not, if you aren't on the same page, then you go your separate ways. But there's no reason to do it in a nasty manner, because whoever the person is in your life, they came in and they taught you something, and you taught them something as well. And that's valuable. That's life experience. So, from the Whispers of Love, love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. So basically what this is saying is going back really to the death card, is going back to the deep connection. that no matter what happens, love is the motivating force behind it. And that's not something that just goes away. And love endures all those hardships, the mistakes, our shadow self. We're human. We all make mistakes. Sometimes we don't mean to hurt one another, but we do. But we have to get honest with ourselves. And love can endure and love can heal if you let it. So from the romance angels, again, we have make the effort. Great love is worth taking the steps you're guided to take. So either make the effort in your current relationship, but if you made all the effort that you could and you saw no results from it, then it's time to let the other person make the effort. And if they show you that they're not going to make any effort, then you make the effort to put the love back into yourself and to give it to somebody else who would appreciate it. Another one we have is healing family issues. Your love life benefits as you forgive your parents. So in that shadow work, maybe that you did in this relationship, maybe some things came to the surface that you've been dealing with all your life. And you've gained an awareness of why your relationships have not been panning out the way that you thought they should be. It's because of our childhood. Deep inner wounds that we've carried around for so long. And then all of a sudden we're matched up with somebody who brings out our shadow self. And sometimes it's not pretty and we don't want to hear it. But it's for our ultimate good. And it's to heal those things so that we can be better in our relationships, in all relationships. But mostly to the people that we're in a committed relationship with. So we don't hurt them. So we understand the reasons why we're doing what we're doing. Self-awareness is key. And then changing it. Healing it. And then the last card is chemistry. There's a strong magnetic attraction here. Now, chemistry just doesn't have to do with the physical. Chemistry can also talk to, there's a pull. You don't know why there's a pull to a specific person that you're with, right? But something always brings you back. There's an emotional tug. There's a spiritual tug. It's a magnetic force. It's like you are just drawn back to each other time and time again. Release, heal, come back. Release, heal, come back. Chemistry, healing family issues, and making the effort. Another card I picked is 0, the beginning, the initiation, which is equated to the Fool card, which is closing out one cycle and starting a new cycle. Now, whether you close out that cycle and end a relationship altogether with somebody and move on to something new, or you close out that cycle of what, that chapter of what has been going on, and you start a new cycle in the relationship. Not giving up. Love endures. Giving yourself. Being honest with each other. But both parties have to come to a resolution of what's best for both of them? Can they get to a place where it's harmonious again, where they're both fulfilled? Can they see the wrongs that they've done? And can they admit it? And can they change? And can they stand by their word? Or are you just going to be trapped in this never-ending cycle of where you're not happy and where somebody's not going to do right by you, no matter how much effort and love you show? Because you can't make anybody love you or put effort into a relationship if they don't want to. We're all on different paths. And sometimes we have to come to that realization that, yes, it's heartbreaking. Maybe you wanted it. Maybe the other person just gave up. Maybe you gave up. Maybe it was amicable. The last card, Oracle card, from the Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck is, forget who you are. Conditioning falls away. Memory no longer defines you. So conditioning can go back all the way to our childhood. How we were conditioned to love. How we thought love was supposed to be. But at the end of the day, you're left with yourself, not your parents, not anybody else. It's you and your partner. So, this card says, you are amidst a new experience, one in which you have no idea of who you are anymore. Paradoxically, this apparent loss of self is a beautiful gift. The loss of memory of the self, the absence of the conditioning that defines us, means we can approach new people and situations with an innocence and freshness. This is an opportunity to connect from the heart. So it is with the Alice when she enters a looking-glass forest with magical powers. All who enter forget who they are. Thus, not knowing he ought to be frightened of a human, a fawn approaches Alice. She responds with an incredible fondness for the fawn, and they meet in simple affection, connection, and friendship. When we forget that we have been taught to fear or hate, it brings the opportunity for a whole series of beautiful relationships to blossom. This is the situation you find yourself in now. Forget what you tell yourself you are. Forget what others have said you ought to be. Forget the anonymity, the avoidance, the fear we live in with far too often. Forget who you have been taught to be. Instead, reawaken the innocence of the soul. Unknown thyself. Accept the mystery of you. Within that open space, within that forest, where we are all returned to our ancient, most natural self, we can all be one again. You are discovering what can happen when you rely less on conditioning, memory, and civilization, and more on heart, receptivity, and nature. Believing everything you have been told you are. Defining self through labels, cultural programming, rules, and laws. Missing out on beautiful, heart-opening opportunities to connect due to conformity and rigid beliefs. So, forget what has happened in the past. Forget all of those beliefs that no longer serve you. Don't let fear override your decisions. Don't let fear of mistakes keep you quiet and keep you held back from a relationship that you truly cherish. If there are things that you need to change in your relationship or your partner needs to change, and you've come to the realization that you want this to work, then go for it. sky's the limit. As long as you both have that self-awareness and desire and have faith and don't give up on the connection, then you can have it all. You can have the stability. You can have the balance. You can have your emotions in check because you were all on the same page. You can have the happiness. You can have the firm foundation. You can have a vision for the future. You know that you're giving your heart to somebody who's not going to break it, who's going to appreciate you, where it's not going to be a one-sided relationship. And it's so hard to come by. So if you ever have a relationship like that, cherish it. Because you never know if you'll ever be lucky enough again to experience a bond that's so deep. So I think that's where I'm going to stop it. If anybody needs a private reading, you can email me at tappedintuition4441111 @gmail.com. Have a good night. Love you guys.